I've been going over and over in my mind again and again and again and again. And it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up when I think about it all. And my brain is not programmed the same way as anyone else. I look at not just the action, but everything behind it. And that's my wiring, because 10 different people can do the same trigger on me, but I'm going to be affected in different ways, because it's not always about the action, but the intention behind it. Did they mean it? Are they sorry? Did they have the information? It all matters, because the trigger isn't always about that particular thing, but it was like why they did it and how it's happening is usually what affects you the most. And that's the... I can't get my head around it, because as far as the main guy goes, he's fucked himself good and proper this time. But when I look at everything else, and I look at the current statements, and in the first round, which he inserted himself in. So the first round, he inserted himself into and made statements that were so, like, demonizing and criminalizing on me to make me out like I'm so fucking dangerous, and flat out lied. We've all seen the documentation that he lied about why I was there, that I was on drugs, all of it, right? So we already know what he's doing. But then we've seen on the channel that I've protected their names. I've said that and I've said why I'm protecting it is that I feel like they don't all know the truth, and I feel like if they did know, they wouldn't condone it, that they wouldn't be that type of people. And then there's all over the channel all these things that I've said specifically that will really hurt me, that really fuck up my mental health, that are so traumatizing. And then you look at the fact that I've already got evidence about certain things on there. So for two people to come in, out of nowhere, knowing that I've protected their names, felt sorry for them, knowing the truth. Now, one in particular knows, and she knows. She knows that she lied. She knows that didn't happen. And I can imagine she's fucking sweating buckets right now, that if she sat down on this channel and gone, hang on a sec. Because what I can't get my head around is the three of them sitting there combing through my videos going, that would trigger her. Oh, that'll traumatize her. That'll make her sick. That'll scare her. That'll fuck her up. And then going and committing perjury, knowing that I've got all the evidence, knowing that it's a lie. So the intention had malice, if that was the case. But that's the case if it was all three of them sitting there combing through. I can't shake this feeling that that didn't happen, because when you look at how it's orchestrated on here, they haven't even taken the time to line it up with the original statements from the first time around. So there's things that are contradicting and don't add up. There's stuff on the statement that someone's quoting happened from when they were overseas, so it's quoting from someone else. Quoting that a whole entire chain of events happened with correspondence. Text that can't be proven because it never happened. And a letter that I have the copy of. Accusing me of really disgusting things that I have openly said hurt. Perjury, 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 perjury. I find it hard to believe that these two people are that dumb and cruel. I just can't. Because I'm a realist. We're talking about someone who gave their car away to just not be in the line at fucking Service New South Wales. You know what I mean? Like, when I was living in America, there was this guy who I was having beef with. He had stolen from me, and I fucking hated him, and we were at war. But we had mutual friends, and this one time in particular, he was in beef with someone else, and I was the witness, and I got called upon as a witness in the drama, And to everyone's shock, I defended the guy who I hated who stole from me. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? He stole from you. That's not what we're talking about here. It actually fucked with my friendship with the other person. Because they couldn't understand how I could do that to them. That guy couldn't either, but I'm a realist. In that situation, it wasn't about the fact that he stole from me in the past. They asked me to witness what fucking happened. And our mutual friend was in the wrong. So, I am going to tell my story. No one is getting away with lies and perjury. What I'm saying here is when people have a chance, is they actually have a chance to do the right thing and tell the truth. Because I couldn't give a fuck about the IVO hearings. I am going to tell my story and I will not be silenced. And also this whole experience is helping my cause. It's going to help a lot of people who get treated like this. In the system, by the system, in the community, with, in the health industry, the police, everyone. The police are already getting dragged in. This guy is already in it up to his fucking neck. But I do have a conscience, and I know what it's like to be manipulated and played, and I also know what it's like to have panic and freak out. And I've been in situations where I feel like, I have to do things and I don't think about it, and then later on I realize and I regret it. So my conscience wouldn't be okay and live with myself if that was the case and I just fucking went and did exactly what they did, which is dive in without knowing and just fucking ruin them. But if they did all sit there, all three of them, because the thing is, there's been one of two things that have happened. Either all three of them sat there and went, yeah, we're going to fucking get her and push her over the edge. And all this perjury won't matter because we are too important and nothing can touch us. That means it's backfired on all three and they're all going to go down and take everyone down with them because it's made a whole bigger picture about the whole traumatic event. But if actually it wasn't the case, if one person sat there and then knew and then manipulated them into it, and then they've rushed out in a panic and are now having their lives affected, I'm not going to give him that power. But it does put them in a really shitty position. Because if that happened, they now have to, in order to free themselves, tell the truth. They're still going to get in trouble. They're still going to be known as liars. But they won't be included in the massive thing that's coming to Daylesford's way. And nor will the entire level of it if someone in that town just does the right thing. What is written in here is disgusting. You all know that it's not true. And you've now had time on the channel to realize that it's cruel, it's fucked up, it's sick. You've all had time to realize how you've been played and used in all of it. You've all had time to realize that I've actually done the right thing by you from the fucking start. My big mistake was the video. My big mistake was getting triggered at the end and getting angry and mad with how I delivered it. But if anyone has any brain, heart, and has paid attention, they would see that for what it is. And they would be feeling really fucking stupid right now. Really stupid that they did that to me. But really stupid that they've done this to themselves, knowing that I have evidence. Seeing that I've ripped apart politicians. That I've got nothing left to lose. And I'm fucking livid over it. I am so hurt and disgusted with the three of you. But I'm also a person who has a moral compass and a conscience and a brain that is very different. And I've been seeing everything that's been going on. So because I don't know how that went down, that is why two people have been put on the side. But they haven't been forgotten and they are not getting away with anything. They are given the opportunity to calm down and do the right thing. And no, dickheads, it's not about money. It's about the truth. It's about doing what's right and making the people who have done wrong fix the damage that they've seriously caused. It's about being a decent human being who acts with integrity. It's about taking responsibility for your fuck-ups. It's about forgiveness. It's about truth. You know the text didn't happen. You know what was really in my letter. You know that I have evidence to show everything that happened. And you know that I never actually asked for a cent of anyone's money. It's time to think about who you are as a person and understand the gravity of what you've done. Because I honestly can tell by how it's written that even though there was an intention to hurt me, the person who gave that statement didn't fact check. It is so fucking wrong and disgusting that it can't be real. You know what I mean? Like, it's too much. Like, it's too much that I just can't. I can't believe that I feel like that person has been a puppet and it's been like the oil all over again, and that is the only reason I'm doing this, because it's too big for me to ignore this feeling and give that chance. Because the moment I pull this all out in court, not just the intervention hearing, I couldn't give a fuck. We all know that's dodgy. The real court, that's going to drag on and hurt a lot of people. Before I do that, before I mess with families and careers and lives, I want to make sure that this wasn't just the doing of one person and our dodgy, broken system. It's okay if it was. I'm just trying to get all my facts straight so that I know what I'm doing and I don't hurt people or do anything that's not necessary. Because that's who I am. And anyone who wants to say otherwise, you can't hurt me anymore. That's why I don't care that people know I'm in Tassie. These intervention orders haven't silenced me. They're making everything louder. I am never going to stop telling my story. It's all coming out, but it depends on how that comes out. We've got a month until that court hearing, and in between there, it's Christmas and New Year's. So I guess it depends, because I don't care how my Christmas and New Year is going to be spent with chat on all kinds of projects, exploding all kinds of things. How big that explosion is and how far it goes and onto whom, literally, isn't up to me. So I'm just going to keep doing my thing. I've got my focus on who matters, and I'm not going to let it go. I'm just not a cunt.